I was meant to do a live stream last Sunday and I caught a cold, so I couldn't. I was full of cold. It's been a full week. I've still got a little bit of a cold. I'm not perfect, but it should be fine for a live stream. If I have to blow my nose later, I'll mute the microphone, I'll go off the screen and I'll blow my nose so you don't have to listen. But hopefully it's okay. So we're going to do some first impressions. I've got 3 fragrances. I'm going to wear them on skin. There's no point doing it on paper when it's only just a couple of them. So we're going to spray them on skin. We're going to be having a smell of by Killian's Old Fashioned, which I bought a sample of. So just testing from the sample. I've written some notes down and the pricing and things like that, so we can kind of have a little talk about it. And hold on, let me check my. I think comments come up on this in the middle, so if anyone comments, I can see. Hopefully, we'll see. And then we're going to do one by Creed. It's called Queen of Silk. This one's marketed. Oh, there's the comments. Okay. How are you? It's 10:30 a.m. here in Florida. It is 9 o'clock in the evening here in India. I'm good, thanks. I had a cold for about a week, but I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still blowing my nose maybe like once an hour, so it's not as bad, but it's still lingering. So yeah, we're going to be checking out first impressions of Old Fashioned by Killian, Queen of Silk by Creed, that one's marketed towards women, and then a friend very kindly sent me a miniature of Vanilla 28 by Kayali. I'm going to smell that one as well. I'm going to spray these on my skin. And yeah, so I'm not sure which one to do first, whether I should do Creed or Killian first. I think we'll do Killian first, and then we'll do the 2 more kind of women's marketed fragrances after, put them together. You're in India. I'm in the south of India. It would be more southeast. Tamil Nadu state. Okay, so we're going to spray Old Fashioned by Killian. I'm going to put it on my left hand. Okay, a couple of sprays from the sample. I quite like that. Okay, so the notes for this is wheat, Davana, Immortelle, cedar, tolu balm, tolu balsam, and styrax. So a lot of resins. Wood, Immortelle is kind of a caramelly kind of, is caramel the wrong word? Kind of a slightly kind of more like a burnt sugar note, I would maybe describe it. Okay. So this is meant to replicate like a whiskey drink. It is kind of boozy. I don't drink alcohol personally, so I'm not the best person to tell you whether or not it smells exactly like whiskey, because I don't drink it. I definitely smell the cedarwood, and I smell a very smooth resin. There's a subtle sweetness. It's not particularly sweet. It's kind of dry. But it doesn't smell like I'm literally smelling a glass of whiskey. It's not like overwhelmingly like alcoholic. So I don't think you would smell drunk wearing it, put it that way. Do you practice sitting meditation? I do. I'm sat cross-legged on my sofa right now, but yeah, I sit half lotus. I can't do full lotus, my hips aren't open enough. I physically can't do it, but I do half lotus position usually. As my kind of meditation posture, and yeah, that's kind of why I'm here, this meditation practice. Scent of the day, Le Artisan Perfumier Noir Exquise, very nice. What's up, Best Brands C? What's up? How's everyone doing? So yeah, we're smelling by Killian's Old Fashioned. I reviewed another Killian that was a boozy one, and I can't remember the name of it. I should have checked before I did the live stream. Does anyone remember the name of the previous boozy one by Killian? Because I think I preferred the other one, to be honest, between the two. Oh, what was it called? The name's bugging me. Single malt? No, there's another one. Not single malt. No, you're gonna have to help me in the comments because I forgot. Good morning from Florida. Hey Kevin, hope you're doing well, buddy. So yeah, we're smelling Killian Old Fashioned, and the notes are, just to go over again for anyone new, wheat, Divana, Immortelle, cedar, Tolu balsam, and styrax. What I'm getting from this is there is a little bit of a boozy vibe to it in the opening, but I do get the cedar straight away, and I get a very smooth resin. So it's like woody, grainy, resinous, a subtle sweetness. It's not overly sweet. It does smell a bit more masculine. I'm not sure the women would kind of gravitate to wanting to smell like this. For a woman's perspective, I think it does have a bit of a more masculine kind of vibe to it. I think it's pleasant. I wouldn't personally wear it myself. I don't dislike it. I think it does smell nice. I'm trying to remember, if anyone can remember the last boozy one from Killian, please write it in the comments because I've completely forgot the name of it. I reviewed it like last year, and I can't, everyone was hyping the last one, saying how great it was. And then this one's come afterwards, and I remember doing a review of the other one. I can't remember, was it called Single Malt, or was that an older one? They've done so many boozy ones. There's apple brandy, that was quite nice. I quite liked apple brandy. There's vodka on the rocks. Maybe it was single malt. I'm not sure. Without looking it up, I can't remember whether there was one, if single malt was an older one or they redid a new one, or whether it is single malt. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm not sure this one is better than that last one. Roses and Ice was nice, says Bassy. I'm not sure I smelled that one, you know. I'm not sure if I did or not. If I did, I don't remember it. But yeah, this one is Old Fashioned, I would say. It's more masculine. It smells a little bit more older. If you're like a younger, like teenage, early 20s, I don't think this would suit you very well, to be honest. It does smell a little bit more mature. I'm thinking like 30 and upwards. Maybe if you're like 40 or 50 even, this might be a really good choice. It's quite masculine. It's not too sweet. It's boozy to me, but without smelling alcoholic. I don't think you're going to smell drunk. You're not going to smell like you've just downed a bottle of whiskey, in my opinion. It's not that overwhelmingly boozy. But I do, like I say, I pick up a lot of cedar or a lot of resin from this. In general, as a first impression, I would say it smells pleasant, it's nice. I think it's a decent masculine fragrance. If you like kind of woody, resinous, boozy kind of fragrances, it's not bad. It's not something I would wear myself personally, but I'd recommend it for, like I say, a little bit more of an older, I say older, like 30's not that old, you know, but I wouldn't recommend it to a 20-year-old, put it that way. But if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, then I don't see a problem. It does smell, it's not something I would suggest to wear to work. It smells a little bit more casual or dressed up smart, like if you were going to a night out or something, you were wearing a leather jacket, for example, and you go into a fancy bar or something with some friends, or you're partner, then this might be, you know, quite cool. That's kind of the vibe I get, casual or kind of smartly dressed, but not in a suit, not that kind of vibe. Let's check up on the comments. Love Bamboo Harmony, Angel Share, that's the one I'm thinking of. I was thinking of, thank you for writing that. I was thinking to myself, is it single malt? That was the older one was single malt, then they did Angel Share, that was the one that was hyped last year. Yeah, Angel Share and this one, I wish I'd have bought my sample of it, to which you like. This one is, like I say, a little bit more kind of focused on that kind of cedar note and resin, and it's not that sweet. And it does have quite a more kind of traditional masculine kind of vibe to it. I like it, I think it's nice. I would recommend it if you're into kind of a little bit more darker, woody, slightly boozy fragrances, then it might be a good try. Have you ever tried the brand Zoologist? I have, yes. I've met Victor Wong in Italy at the Essence a few years ago. I've reviewed a bunch of his fragrances in the past. Good thing I didn't ask the comment section. Funny, but the comment section in this stream is public. Why is that funny? That's how YouTube is. Of course the comment section is public. It wouldn't be that's how a live stream comment section works. Stay mad over a question. What are we talking about here? Who's mad at what? No one's mad at anything. I don't know, I'm confused here. Okay, whatever's going on in the comments. Just saying members of this channel have seen his videos. Okay, anyway, so that's my, we're talking about the Zoologist stuff. Not everyone is aware of, like, if someone's only just subscribed or they haven't seen videos I did 4 or 5 years ago, it's not a big deal. I cover a lot of things. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this was Killian Old Fashioned, and hopefully I covered that okay. I'll come back to it at the end and smell it as the dry down. From a first impression, I give it a thumbs up, it's not bad. And in terms of pricing, I wrote that down, let's talk about pricing for a second. So 100 ml is what I could find on the internet, and it was £310 sterling for 100 ml. That's UK money, £310. I'm not sure what it is in US dollars. I know the 50 ml was shown on my phone as being 275 US dollar. I think the pricing is good. I think it's fair. It's not bad. You have a nice looking bottle that smells decent. I think the pricing is absolutely fine. I give it a thumbs up for the pricing. I don't have a complaint. And yeah, it's one I would generally recommend. Is, like I say, it's not something I would wear myself personally, but there you go. I can still, you know, think it's nice without wanting to wear it myself. Can we stop arguing in the comments? It's no big deal. Let's just all get along and be happy. Is there something from Creed or Killian you want to give a chance by wearing less than full bottle amount? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm quite happy testing little samples like this. These are just like 2 ml samples. I think it's enough for me at this stage in my life. I kind of know what I like when I smell it, and to be fair, like, my taste changes even now. Like, I can smell something and like 6 months later I'll smell it again and I'll have a little bit of a different opinion. I might smell it a year later, and something that I might not have liked a year ago, I might like it now. So my taste is developing and changing and expanding, but in terms of the first impression of what I would like to wear, like right now, I can kind of get a pretty quick impression of whether or not it's my cup of tea or not, just based on a 2 ml sample. So we're gonna switch over to Creed now. That was Killian's Old Fashioned on my left hand. We'll circle back around at the end of the stream. This is Queen of Silk by Creed. This is marketed towards women. I'm going to spray this on my right hand, and then afterwards at the end we're going to smell Kayali, which was sent to me by a friend of mine. Thank you. Is there something Creed or Killian? Well, I'm chilling. Are we still going in circles on this? You two just need to hug and make up. Come on, it's not a big deal. Okay, so this is Queen of Silk by Creed. So I'm going to read you the notes for this. This has got saffron, osmanthus, magnolia, passion fruit, tuberose, patchouli, oud, vanilla, ambroxan, myrrh, musk, incense, and cedarwood. I've got to be honest, that's not my taste. I'm sorry to the women that are watching that like it. It's just not my taste, at least from the top note. I'm trying to decide what the hell's going on with in terms of what I'm smelling. Wow, okay. It does smell a little bit more Middle Eastern, I would say. I can imagine this being very popular in Dubai. There was something about the initial opening that I thought kind of Middle Eastern kind of vibe. As it's drying down, there's also something, there's this sweetness to it, which is very familiar to me, almost like a designer, like a women's designer fragrance kind of sweetness. That's what's coming to, is it La Ville El Belle? What's that one called? That Lancôme. There's a Lancôme that's very sweet and very, very popular, and loads of women wear it. They don't smell the same, but I get like there's a hint of that kind of mainstream designer sweetness in the base of this, which is familiar to me. And the Lancôme comes to mind, which I can't remember the name of from the top of my head. So we're smelling Queen of Silk, by the way, by Creed. This is marketed to the ladies. La Vie est Belle, yeah, by is it by Lancôme? I think so. Hi Tina, hope you're well. I'm not saying they smell the same, they don't. What I'm saying is there's a hint of something that is familiar to me, and when I'm trying to kind of work out the vibe that I'm feeling familiarity to with, my brain goes to that fragrance. I haven't smelled it in years, so I might be wrong. But there's something familiar with this. It's the kind of sweetness that it has in the background that is reminding me of that. But there's also something in this that I got kind of a Middle Eastern vibe from it in the opening. Maybe that's the saffron kind of thing going on. My first impression on the initial top notes was that it wasn't my taste, and I genuinely didn't really particularly like it. I don't dislike it or hate it or anything, it's just, I would kind of, I just don't think much of it in terms of the first impression. The dry down might be better. It might be better as it dries down. There is a sweetness there, like I said, that has a little bit more of a designer kind of sweetness to it. When I'm reading the notes list, I mean, it's so complicated. Saffron, osmanthus, magnolia, passion fruit, tuberose, patchouli, oud, vanilla, ambroxan, myrrh, musk, incense, cedarwood. You just get kind of a wall of like kind of an intense, dark, like a dark kind of sweetness. But I'm just not, I don't know what to say. It's not my taste, to be honest. So reading the comments, Queen of Silk, I actually quite enjoy this on a woman. It smells much better in the air than directly on skin. I can imagine I'm trying to kind of get wafts of it instead of just smelling my hand directly. Yeah, I can see that the sweetness coming in the air would be more pleasant than, it's a little bit harsh as you smell it close. If you just got a waft of that kind of darker kind of sweetness, then maybe I could see that. I think the passion fruit is doing something here. I think you do get kind of a fruity kind of thing, but it's kind of on the dark side. It's not like a watery, super feminine, girly kind of smell. It has a darkness to it. Creed's most recent release for both men and women have been diversions from the past, much more designer-esque. Yeah, I would say this one has got a designer feel to it in terms of the sweetness that it produces or gives. So in terms of the pricing for this one, for 75 ml, it's £260 sterling, and for a 30 ml, is £165. £165 for a 30 ml for this. Stopping in to say hello. I'm okay, thank you. I'm going to comment on the pricing of this one. I do think it's overpriced by quite a bit. £165 sterling for a 30 ml for this is, yeah, it's not good value for money. That's really quite expensive for what I'm smelling. This is fair. It is very overpriced. If I had to guess what the price is, not knowing what, even taking into the brand into consideration, I don't know, man. If it was in the region of anywhere from like, let's do the top kind of level of what I would consider okay for this kind of smell. Maybe £130 top, like no more than that, and that's overpriced still. But this is £165. This is very, in my opinion, as a brand owner, it's very overpriced. It's not good value for money. It does have a designer feel to it. It doesn't smell uber luxurious. It doesn't smell full of magnificent natural materials. It just doesn't smell that good of a quality for that level of price. So my first impression of Queen of Silk is, it's not my personal taste. I don't particularly, it's not a smell that does anything for me. It doesn't excite me. I wouldn't be attracted to that if I smelled that on a woman, I don't think. And the pricing is very high. I don't think that's good value for money. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, to be honest. I just wouldn't. I think that's really overstretching it for the pricing. Even with the name Creed, so to speak, I don't think it's worth that amount of money. You know, you do pay a certain amount for the brand name, so to speak, but even then, this is just not that good, you know. On principle, you never buy Creed at retail. However, all can be found at discounters. Okay, yeah, if you can get it at a discounter at a better price than that, then fair enough. I definitely wouldn't recommend paying full price for that. So we'll move on to Kayali, which is the last one we're going to talk about today. And this one is a Vanilla 28, and this was sent to me by a friend for, was it my birthday or Christmas? I don't remember now. It might be my birthday present. If they're watching, thank you. And yeah, so this was sent to me because a musician that I like, she's a singer-songwriter, an American singer-songwriter called Meiko, M-E-I-K-O. She told me, we had a little exchange on DMs in Instagram, and she told me that she's actually asking my advice on. She liked this one and she wanted a suggestion for a long-lasting, natural-smelling vanilla fragrance, and that she already liked this one, and I had to give her kind of a recommendation. So anyway, this is one that Miko likes, so there you go. But yeah, I don't have any experience really with Kayali. All I know is that I think they're like a influencer brand, and it's a woman from Dubai, I think. That's about as much as I know, and I might be wrong on that. I think that's the case. So yeah, Kayali Vanilla 28. The 50 ml, from what I can see, is £73 in the UK, which is a good price. I've got no problem with the pricing. I think that's, well, I haven't smelled it yet, but if it smells decent, the price is good. So the notes for this would be vanilla, jasmine, tonka, brown sugar, amberwoods, musk, and patchouli. I do like vanilla in general. That does sound a little bit generic. There's like a bazillion different vanilla fragrances on the market, but we'll see. I'm going to spray it on my upper arm because we got old-fashioned here. I'm just going to do one spray. We'll see. Yes, I can see that they're even stocked in Boots in the UK, which is, you know, they've got a lot of, what's the word, international distributed networks to get into places like Boots. As I mean, it's proper like affordable high street stuff, so. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's okay. It's very sugary, it's very sweet. It's not the most natural smelling thing in the world, but for the pricing, I don't think that matters. The pricing is fair. It's hyper sweet vanilla. The brown sugar thing makes sense to me. I do get like a kind of a vibe of brown sugar. That completely makes sense. Yeah, it's like, that's a really good description. Imagine like a very sweet vanilla mixed with brown sugar. I think that is absolutely bang on the mark for the description of it. Maybe a little bit of that kind of ethyl maltol candy floss vibe in the background. There's something a little bit, maybe slightly burnt to it, like almost like the brown sugar's a little bit caramelized or a little bit burnt, just a little bit. Someone's mentioned here sickly sweet. I would say that this is sickly sweet. It is very sweet. Most mainstream women's fragrances repulse you too sickly sweet, as if they rolled in syrup. Yeah, I would think that you would probably get that vibe from this. This is very syrupy, like vanilla-y, syrupy, like sugary, you know, it is exactly that. It smells simple. It's, again, very sweet. I think it's let me clear my throat. It's hitting my throat here. Hold on. I don't find it that appealing, to be honest. I think at a distance it might be quite nice. Like if a woman walked past and I got a waft of it in the air and just a hint of it, I think it would be nicer. But like up close, it is very like cloying. I would kind of want to rub that off or wash it off after like 20 minutes because it's just too much. Yeah, I would say I'm not overly attracted to it as a man, like smelling it on a woman. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just maybe a bit over the top in terms of the sweetness. but like I say, I think maybe I'm just trying to think. It's hard to imagine how it would smell on a woman like wafting past as she walks by, because I don't have that experience. But I think it would be a little bit lighter in the air, maybe. Up close, it's kind of cloying. If I was to wear it myself around my neck, I think I'd get sick of it pretty quick, and I'd kind of want it to be gone. To be honest, it's pretty strong actually. Like my hand's down here, and I can smell it easily, like all around my face, and my hand's like there. So it's definitely got like projection, sillage. It's like wafting all over the place. I don't dislike it, but it's not something that I would find myself attracted to. Like if there was even like a really beautiful woman and she was wearing this, the smell would do nothing for me in terms of attraction. I wouldn't be drawn because of the smell. So it's not something that I would say, it doesn't come across as sexy to me, for example, as a woman's fragrance. I don't quite get that. But there's nothing wrong with it. I don't dislike it. It's just quite sickly syrupy and maybe a bit over the top on the sweetness. That's all I can really say. I would say vanilla and brown sugar is the kind of vibe that you're getting from that. And it's hyper sweet. But the pricing is fine. I don't know, people like sweet fragrances. It's just my opinion. Okay, I think Kayali of scented body creams type of scents. I can imagine it in a candle smell. It would make sense to me in a candle. Yeah, if I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a woman, for example, like if I was a woman, would I want to wear this? But that doesn't really make sense because I don't know what being a woman is like, so I don't know what my taste would be as a woman. But probably not. Like my taste as a man, I'm not that attracted to it, and I like vanilla. Like I find vanilla in some instances very sexy. I really do like vanilla. This one, yeah, it's got this syrupy kind of slightly burnt brown sugar vibe, and it's just too much. I don't find it sexy. I think it's a little bit, it might give you a bit of a headache. It's a bit too sweet. Okay, so we'll circle back, but the performance is good. Like it's wafted everywhere from here already, so I would imagine it's pretty good in the performance based on what I'm getting here. So we'll circle back to the first one we tried, which was Killian's Old Fashioned. Not a whole lot's changed. I would say I'm getting more of the resin in the Killian now. My nose is going to be a little bit wackadoodle because of all the different smells it's taking in. Hold on, I'm going to mute the microphone a second because excuse me, I had to blow my nose. I've had a cold for about a week. Hi Peter, I'm not in your what? In your eaved? In your eaved? I don't know what eaved means, but hello. So Killian Old Fashioned, it's more masculine. I'm getting a lot more of that kind of resin now. It's okay. I think for a more mature, it's a more mature masculine kind of vibe, dressed up, but not in a suit, kind of dressed up like a leather jacket, kind of dressed up, like a nice quality leather jacket on a night out with your partner or friends to a nice bar, that kind of dressed up. Then this, I think, would be quite cool and maybe get you a couple of compliments as a man, so to speak. It's not too sweet. It does have a little bit of a boozy vibe, but it doesn't smell too alcoholic where you're gonna smell drunk. It doesn't, to me, it's not that, much boozy. I did get a lot of cedarwood, and now it's kind of going more resinous-y and maybe a little bit more sweeter. I would say I would recommend it to people. I think the pricing is good. I think the pricing is fair. £73 for 50. No, that's wrong. That's Kayali. Forgive me. The pricing is £310 for 100ml, which I think is fair. It's fine. Someone said, Nicholas says, you heard that old fashioned is similar to apple brandy. I remember smelling apple brandy and liking it. But it's been a while since I smelled it, so I can't directly compare, I'm afraid. From memory, I feel like I liked apple brandy more than this one, to be honest. Not that this is bad, but I would have said apple brandy might have been a little bit better in the opening. From a personal taste perspective, I mean, it's all subjective, it's just your own personal preference. But yeah, this one's a little bit more mature, it is quite masculine, and yeah, I would recommend it, but it's woody, it's resinous-y, and yeah, it's fairly easy to wear. It's kind of got a darkness to it, not too sweet. It's not bad. I'd say check out a sample. We'll switch over to Queen of Silk by Creed. I did say this kind of had a slightly Middle Eastern vibe to me in the opening, and then it kind of goes into a designer kind of sweetness. Oh God, that's even worse. Yeah, I don't like that, I'm sorry. If there's any women watching that own Queen of Silk, I don't want to, upset anyone, or it's just a personal taste. I don't like it. It's just, I don't like it. It's this kind of synthetic, dark, kind of fruity sweetness. There's definitely a darkness to it. It's not kind of watery and light and airy. It's darker. It's got this resinous quality that's very thick, with this sweet, fruity, sugary kind of sweetness to it. With this, I'm getting a bit of the floral coming through. Yeah, you get this kind of white floral texture coming through the sweetness. Yeah, it's not my taste. It really isn't. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. If I smelled that on someone, I would probably move away, to be honest. It's a little bit nauseating, to be perfectly frank. If a woman was wearing a lot of that around me, I would literally just walk away. I'd leave. I wouldn't want to smell that for too long. That sounds harsh, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I've got to be honest. Yeah, that one isn't my cup of tea. I'm sure there's people that like it or love it or whatever, but I can only speak from a man's perspective, smelling a woman's perfume, and that does nothing for me. I would move away from that. I just don't like it. It's very overpriced as well. It's £165 for a 30ml. That's very expensive. I personally think that's extremely overpriced. Off-topic question, if I may. Gaia from your brand discontinued, and if so, would you consider bringing it back in the future? It is discontinued, yes. The sales were so slow that it took like 2 years to sell like this much from a container. It was so slow that if I make another batch, it's not going to sell enough that it's just going to go past its use-by date. Like it's not worth doing. And the other thing is that the orris butter that I used is no longer available. I'd have to change the formula and replace the orris butter with a different one, because I can't get that particular orris, which was actually quite unique. It was an Italian orris butter from memory, and I can't remember the percentage of the ionones from right now in my brain because I made it like 4 years ago. But it was an unusual orris. It wasn't a normal orris butter. It was different, and it's no longer available. I can't get it anymore. It would definitely change the profile, remaking it with a different orris. And like I said, the sales were so poor, so low, that it doesn't make sense to remake it right now. If I get like enough people asking for it, then maybe in a year's time I might do like a small batch. But like I say, it would have to use a different orris butter because I can't get it anymore. So from now it is discontinued. You can no longer buy it. Oops, it was a mistake. What about your own brand? Does it still exist? Yes, it does. I was your old fan. Sorry if it was a bad question. English is not my native. Oh, no problem. Yeah, my brand does still exist. It's still there. My two new ones were, I'm getting a text message to say 90% of my data is used, so this stream is eating it up. Okay, we'll do like 5 more minutes and then I'll have to say goodbye. But we've been going like 40 odd minutes already. Yeah, my brand is doing, well, it's surviving, kind of. It could be better, but it's still there. Yeah, my two newest launches were ones called Santalamore. You can call it Santalamore if you want, or I call it Santalamore personally. And Carina was the other one. So Santalamore was, I would say my favorite in my terms of my own personal taste. It's what I would wear myself regularly. And so it uses petitgrain, neroli, linden blossom, there's a fig note and a matcha accord, so it's a little bit green. Fresh, clean, soapy green, fresh in the opening, and as it dries down, it goes into a combination of sandalwood and ambergris tincture, real white ambergris. And the ambergris is a very, very good fixative, so it means it lasts a long time. On my skin, it's about 12 hours. And you get this lovely sandalwood musky dry down, hence the name Santalamore. It's like a sandalwood soap, or the love of sandalwood, the love of sandalwood soap. So you get this kind of soapy opening of those kind of fresh green florals into a nice soapy musky dry down. I think it's great. Personally, I'm very happy with that one. The feedback I've got from it has been pretty good. People have enjoyed that one. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Best of luck with Centauri, and I always appreciate the insight. Any plans on US distribution? I do have a US stockist. I'm with Lucky Scent. So if you look up Lucky Scent and type in Centauri perfumes or Centauri, you'll find me there at Lucky Scent. I am hoping I also ship there directly myself. So you can buy directly from me or from my stockist, Lucky Scent. I would like to expand my stockists this year. I would like to be in more places. I would like a few more US stockists in particular. So we'll see how we go with that. Hi Peter, how are you? I'm okay, thank you. I'm recovering from a cold. I've been sick for about a week. I would love to try Santalamore and Own. They look very intriguing. Own is an older one. I made it a number of years ago now. It's quite tense. There's a lot going on there. It uses real oud, Thai oud. A couple of different ouds actually, different profiles of oud. There's it's kind of an incensey accord. There's oud. There's a material called spikenard, which is quite unusual, and it's slightly green and herbal and woody and earthy. There's a lot going on in oud. It's a little sweet as well. But yeah, if I was to, actually I'm not going to say that. I've already kind of half said it. I was going to say, if I was to make Own again today, it would probably be different, but I would say that for basically everything I make. Like if I was to make it again years later, obviously it's going to be a bit different because your tastes change, your ideas change, your concepts change. So naturally you will probably do something different. So it's, you know, it's not really surprising. But if I was to do it again today, I would probably go in a slightly different direction. I would still use oud, I think. But yeah, it would probably come across maybe a little bit different if I was to redo it today with the same inspiration. But like I said, I would say that for any of my fragrances. Like that's just, you know, when time passes, your ideas change. So that's how it is. Got to keep the content coming, even on retreat. Yes, yes indeed, yes indeed. Once every 2 weeks we are doing a live stream on a Sunday, depending on the views. I mean, the views are actually pretty surprising. Well, I was going to say it's kind of low for a weekend. I was expecting maybe a little bit more viewers. There's like 15 people watching, 16 people. Not that that's bad, but like I don't know whether like a Saturday maybe would be more better, or if I was to do it on a weekday, I think most people are going to be at work, so that's not really going to work. So I don't know. I think it's just the time difference maybe, because here in India it's like 10 o'clock at night, but in the UK it's what, like 4 o'clock or something in the afternoon. I'm not sure. Why not try to shop or partners for selling in India? It's very complicated shipping perfume to India. I didn't want to get involved with it because it's too complicated with the shipping and the paperwork and the headache that it causes. And I'm not sure if it would sell well in India, to be honest. I saw your other channel. Do you see some more interesting experiences or objects? We talked about the lights in the sky. Yes, I did. I've seen something after the video that I posted there. I don't know if people want to talk about that or not. I do see something unusual now and again. But yeah, no, I saw it after, since I don't know whether to talk about it or not. I think most people just don't care, to be honest. If it's not your experience, then people usually just aren't really bothered. And it sounds a little bit wacky, like if I was to talk about it, people kind of roll their eyes and think you're making it up, or just that it's nonsense, or you're just looking at something that's not, I don't know. It's a tricky thing to talk about. I did make a post about it on Instagram, maybe like a few weeks ago, and I did a whole like, I'm kind of getting it off my chest kind of vibe, feeling like I needed to say something at the time, and I did, and I posted about it more in detail on the story, so it only lasts like 24 hours and then goes away. In India, no, I didn't see it in India, just at home in the UK, but before I came back, so I saw it, oh God. See, people don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a new subscriber, and I saw in a previous video you have a perfume brand. Yes, it's called Centauri Perfumes. What's the name of it? I'd love to try and support your brand. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's Centauri. Could someone type it in the chat for me? Because I'm not sure I know how to do it with this. When I do a live stream at home, I'm using a laptop and I can like type, and with the phone, I don't even know where to click because it all looks different. If someone wants to write Centauri so they know how it's spelled for me, that would be great. So yeah, it's called Centauri Perfumes. Thank you, Tina. If you type that and then perfumes at the end of it, it's centauriperfumes.com, or you can find it on Instagram. You can check out some pictures on Instagram. If you're in America, for example, I'm stocked at Lucky Scent. So yeah. But no, the light thing that we're talking about a second ago, I haven't seen that in India. What I was talking about was in the UK, and I saw 2 of them. There's 2 appeared, which is the only time I've ever seen 2. it was interesting. I don't know how much to talk about it, to be honest, because people find it a little bit weird, probably. Thank you, much appreciated. No problem, thank you. I appreciate that you're curious. That's nice. So that's it. That's really my first impressions. Killian Old Fashioned, I give it a thumbs up. I like it. Not something I burn myself, but I definitely recommend it if you're into that kind of thing, basically. Queen of Silk, I apologise, but I genuinely don't like it. The Kayali is okay. I think it's just a little bit too sweet. It's kind of hyper sweet. And I'm not naturally attracted to it. It doesn't draw me in. I don't find it sexy. It's just, it is what it is. It's fine. It's very sweet. I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it because a lot of people do like sweet things. If you like this, I would have thought that you might like Roses Vanille by, is it Mancera or Montal? I think it's Mancera. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it Montal? Is it Montal? Oh, it's one or the other, but it's called Roses Vanille. And I genuinely don't remember which one it is. It's one or the other, but it reminds me of this, that kind of hyper sugary, like sugar smell, basically, vanilla sugar. Yeah. Does anyone remember like Roses Vanille, if it's Mancera or Montal? I think it's Mancera. If I had to put money on it, I would say it's Mancera, Roses Vanille. But then I'm imagining that metal bottle with the thing dangling off and thinking, oh, is it? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know, it's one or the other. But anyway, Roses Vanille has a similar vibe, in my opinion, to the Kayali Vanilla 28. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to smell next time. It's Mancera. Okay, cool, thank you. I did bring a bunch of samples with me. I'm probably going to run out because I'm here for like 5 months, so I don't think I've got 5 months of samples, to be honest. We'll improvise when we run out of samples. But yeah, that's kind of it. If you want to chat about anything else, we can chat for like five minutes or so. Yeah, we'll do 5 more minutes and then I'll leave at 10 o'clock here. So I was meant to do, so my idea initially, if you want to talk about anything in the comments, just throw it in the comments and we'll chat about it for 5 minutes. But I was going to say, my idea for the live streams was to do it alternate weeks. So like I've got a scheduled video which goes out on a Thursday. And then the next week there isn't a scheduled video, it's one every 2 weeks. And the live stream is meant to counterbalance it on a rotation. So every week there's at least one video. Because I had a cold last week, I didn't do the live streams, and actually this is in the wrong time spot, so to speak. So I'll do another live stream next Sunday. So the next one will be next Sunday, but then after that it will be kind of every other. Depending on my mood, like if I feel like doing it every week, then I'll just do it every week, you know. But okay, my data on my phone just texted me to say 100% of my data is gone. So this stream is going to end any minute if my day is finished. I'm going to say goodnight. I better say goodbye before it dies on me. Thank you for hanging out with me, smelling some samples together. Hope that you found that useful. It's just first impressions of Creed, Killian and Kayali. I'll see you next Sunday for another live stream. Take care of yourselves and I will see you next week. Be blessed. Bye everybody. Bye bye. Good night.